we'll see what's gonna happen later. So since there's new people, let's do the call with introduction. And you probably mastered it already. Why do you come here? What's your goal out of here?
It's Dave. Don't have a goal, but enjoying the presence through the discussion that feel more awake. So I enjoy that experience. My name is Doug. It's my second time here. I'm not sure about a goal either, other than I think there's a kind of quality of discussion that everything leads that prevents my mind from running, slipping into out of reach. So, sure, that's term. It seems to surround her for 2 or 3 hours.
My name is Daniel. I'm at Kim work, so Derek explained something for me. I got interested. It's my second time also here. And I think all my life, I had a lot of questions about what we really are. Like, if we are big, or if we are something bigger. I don't know. So I'm actually here my goal is to see if I find through a discussion, something interesting that can open my mind or open my eyes. That's what I'm looking for. And I hope I open my field, how it says, my hands, like this.
Yeah. I think you mentioned in the last discussion. No?
Yeah, that's kind of like people feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions. I don't have like a goal. I like to know more.
Yeah, I'm Christian. In general, I'm interested in spiritualism. I don't know what's going to happen next hour, but I'm very curious.
My name is Eduardo. The new invitee for his quiz. Please explain your religion and reality. I think it's like Christian. I'm a new religion. Buddhism. For know more about this.
Very good. Myself, I've been doing this for a few years, almost already, and people come curious, and some people are more interested to stay and come after again. Some people get discouraged to come because it's not what they want to see. They don't want to see what they believe, and then here we see what life is actually like. So, well, as for tonight, I don't, as usual, have big introduction about myself because I don't feel that this is adding to the discussion of the night. If after or whenever, if it feels anything interesting about my identity or not, we can talk about it. But mainly, I think what is most important is to focus what is really here tonight to be presented, and you got interested because I don't know what he told you about it. I can tell you about it also not much because you have to be here to experience it to understand what it really is. And what is the experience of tonight? We're gonna focus our attention from all the activities outside from our thoughts into the present moment and to see what is the truth of the present moment. And a lot of people are looking for happiness, for freedom, and we're gonna look from the present moment, from now. What is the happiness? What is freedom? What does the truth means? Because if we look at the truth of the meaning of happiness, where do we take it from? The parents tell you if you want to be happy, you have to study for so long and you have to have a good house, a good car, a good wife, a good bank account, and then you're gonna be happy. So maybe this is the idea of the happiness that we carry. And I talked to my ex-classmate. He has a good job in Norway and he makes good money, but he's not happy. And sometimes to up to the point of depression, he says, "I don't know where to go, what to do, how to how to be happy. I I don't even know where to start. I don't know what happiness means. What is the meaning of happiness? Because obviously having good enough money and good lifestyle, comfortable lifestyle, is not enough to be happy. So what does it mean to be happy? And to each one of us, what does it mean to be happy? Because obviously happiness and freedom are related. You cannot be imprisoned in your, and well, you can. And generally, if you're in prison, you're not really happy because you don't have something that you like, which is freedom. So freedom is also something that we experience in correlation to happiness. We have to have certain amount of freedom to obtain the happiness that we imagine. Otherwise, we are forced to experience an unhappy life where we suffer, where we feel pain, and we struggle unless we have enough freedom to choose another way to experience it. But if you were to choose, what kind of life would you choose? Which would be, say, this is the life that would be happy, or what would be your experience? The happiest life that you can imagine. This is a question for everyone to consider. What is that kind of life?
Happiness for me, I think it's the usual what everyone says now in my life. It would be like have a good job or a good family. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I would like to know. Like, I can see my future like this. If I would say, I would be happy in the future. If I achieve my goals, I studied, I read, and continue achieving goals, but like a normal, ordinary life, as everybody. I don't know if it's yes or no. I would say it now, but I would like to hear about you.
What about others? What is the happiness that appear in your vision? Because I mean, if we want to be happy, we must see how to be happy, right? Otherwise, how can we be happy without even knowing what this happiness does? We have to have a clear vision. How do you perceive yourself to be happy? And it's not necessarily a very difficult question, but in this kind of moment, people get confused a little and they stop, okay, wait, but is it really happiness? And like, if anybody else asks, you'll tell immediately. Right now, it's very hard to answer because you really look inside. What does it really mean, happiness? Because obviously, there's space for the assumption that what we feel that happiness is, what we've been told, what we've been conditioned to believe that this is what happiness means, can be questioned, and maybe this not necessarily doesn't provide happiness. And if we assume that, then we kind of get afraid to say, well, happiness to me is this, because then you have to consider that this may not be happiness. And we're like, okay, wait. So what do you want then? What will be really bring happiness? What to want that will really bring happiness? Because wanting a big house, a big bank account, obviously it doesn't assure happiness. So there's projection to the future. I'd like to study. I'd like to have a good family. That seems to be a happy type of experience. But we also can question it. Now it seems like it, but we don't know how is it really going to be in the future. Maybe when you have that, it's like you don't feel really happy. You have that, but something is missing.
It was taught for us like that. To study, make money, have a family. Exactly. I don't think it's just this. You can do everything this, but you can be happy or not.
So what about others? What is the happiness?
Yeah, I only notice when I'm not happy, when I'm suffering because of the girl or whatever. Then I notice I'm not happy. There's something, there's no freedom inside. But I cannot tell when I'm happy when the suffer is gone.
So in this moment, you don't know are you happy or not.
I think at the moment I'm in the right balance, so you can describe it as happy.
Very good. Anyone else who wants to share their happiness?
I would just say that I no longer project or look for that. So happiness just sometimes comes, sometimes goes. And they projecting or wanting to get something or somewhere. I noticed right away that it brings tells me I'm not happy. Doesn't feel good. So it's kind of yeah. I got lots of
What you guys? What makes you happy?
I think because I think for I be happy. I don't need a lot of money. I don't need a car. I don't need a big house. Uh, Sometimes I look only the people around me through through friends, through through friends, real friends, on talks. I think is I read. I'm happy. I think it's relax. I think a good family. I think is enough. No, great about the job. A lot of money. I think it's great family. I think it's enough.
Here,
I would say there's a danger of projecting something into the future if you took it maybe too seriously. But I guess just some ideas to maybe put a little bit of structure into your future to give you an orientation maybe. Uh, Trying to hit each moment with an open enough mind to change your plans or change direction if the situation seems to be the most intelligent um, with the time. So, it's a theme that seems to come up a lot in this work. Is how much structure, how much improvisation, how much confidence to let go of maybe more and more structure.
so if we all see that there is a possible projection of happiness, we can also see that if that projection is not pleased, there's a possibility to not experience happiness. As simple as that. And why do you do that? If your projection is not met, you would like to experience that kind of life for you to experience happiness, but not always we get that kind of life. Because not always life is the way we want it. Life is the way it is, and you may want different life, but life doesn't necessarily change because you want it to be different. Right now, if you want the moon to appear and shine like total red light, you can try, and life doesn't necessarily give that kind of experience. So if we want to be happy and we believe this is what is going to make us happy, and we do not get that, immediately there's unsatisfaction with whatever it is because we want something different. So is there a problem with life if, or is there a problem with what we want? Is there a life which is unhappy, or is your projection not met and you experience unsatisfaction which turns into unhappiness or suffering or pain, and life is just as it is? Only we desire life to be different. If you have to sit on the high chair and there's no other chairs, after 5 hours it may become uncomfortable. You may want to sit on another chair, but there's no other chairs. So right now, in that experience, you'll have pain, and the desire to have something else produces the pain in general. But that can be observed because this moment you're here, you're present, and you can observe this very moment. And the way we desire life to be is exactly what is bringing us unhappiness. We're made to believe that this is what is going to bring us happiness, but nobody tells us, well, if you do this, this, and this is what's going to give you happiness. But if you don't get this, you'll be unhappy. Nobody tells you if you don't get this, you'll be unhappy. Just do this, 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 and you'll be happy. As if nobody knows that not always you get what you want to do. And in the moments that we don't get what we want, in the moments that we have to suffer in unhappiness, we're bringing then attention to the present because something has to change. If I'm always unhappy, you start realizing that maybe I'm unhappy because I want something else, and life it is as it is right now. If you'd be in the war right now and you would like peace all the time, you'd be unhappy. But you kind of have to live in the moment and be happy that there's still your family is alive. or you fully focus that oh like peace, and you'll be suffering that it isn't there. You understand, you start realizing that this is how life is. Life is in the war. I have no choice whatsoever to be in or out. The only thing that I have in the present moment is maybe my family. So I choose to be happy with that what I have right now. So it's not really something very shallow and lame when somebody says if be happy with what you have, because if you can be happy with what you have in the present moment, that is worth more than whatever you'll gain and whatever happiness it will give to you then. Because sometimes when life doesn't give you anything, and you can just be happy with what you have, it's much better than to be sad that you don't have whatever you wanted to get. So happiness and the freedom and the truth is actually hidden beneath all the projections of what it is before and beyond all of them. That's why nobody can find it. Everybody is looking for the meaning of happiness. What does it feel like? What does it look like? What is the shape of it? What is freedom? What is the truth? Everybody tries to find it somewhere in the manifest world, in the expression in this planet, as if anything that you can do on this planet will make you happy. Momentarily, when you do it, if you can do it, you may be happy that you actually have ability to do it. But as soon as you don't have ability to do it and you want to do it, you become unhappy. So anything in this world that you're gonna do, it can make you happy, but it has also possibility to make you unhappy. Absolutely anything. So meaning there's no happiness in the world. Happiness be somewhere inside before the anything you do. So then anything you're gonna do already being happy. Doesn't matter what's gonna be done. You may be burying your parents in the funeral and be happy. Well, why not? It sounds bad, but I mean, you in your knowing, you know that they're in the first place they're gonna go to a better place, not such a contaminated world where everybody believes that the happiness is whatever they want and they interfere with others and do not allow people just to be and observe that if I stop this moment and stop seeking for happiness and look beyond it before, maybe I'll find happiness already in me. And then whatever I do, it's fine. So before wanting happiness, and my idea that whatever God did in order to hide the happiness, to hide the truth, to hide the freedom, he didn't put anywhere in the world because it would be too obvious that if it's somewhere, people will find it. All people have scientists, all kind of people just searching and searching and trying to find things and figure things out. So they didn't find it if they hide it anywhere. So he made it obvious. It's here. It's now. It's present. Nobody looks here because it should be somewhere there. Happiness is somewhere there. When I achieve in 2 years, how many years, having a good job, finishing my studies, it's always projected into there, not here. So the biggest joke in the universe is that all the happiness and all the freedom is here. Whenever you want something else, then this moment, you're indulging in the possibility to be not happy. In this moment, there's no way to be not happy because it's complete, it's full. There's nothing more needed in this moment. There's already full happiness, full freedom, full liberation. There's nothing more that you can add to this moment unless you want something, you desire something to this moment in particular, but that's your personal desire. What more can you add to the presence?
I'm really confused because life, you have to project, don't you? Like, I mean, what I have to projecting my future. What do I have to do at the same time? Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I'm really confused. How to realize it, to feel the present, feel happy. Oh, now I'm good, I'm okay, it's perfect now. All I need is it's here now, the present. But I have to do something also, or I don't.
This is okay because the mind comes in and says, I cannot be happy now, and that's it. That's not enough. I'll have to do something. I have to do something in the future. So happiness cannot be only here now. But this is how the mind keeps suffering and bring you unhappiness. You can. The projection is not. It's not like you are making your life anyway. You perceive that there is this kind of projection, and you start living it without even knowing that it's not yours. Most of your life is designed and shaped by your parents and by other friends and everything because they give you thoughts. Oh, go study here. Oh, do this. And especially in like Latin Americans and Southeast Asian families, whatever your parents say to do, you'll do it because your mom told you. So if your mom tells you go study this or go do this, you'll do it because your parents are so much valued and trusted that they know what's better for you.
It's the point. I think more Asian countries. I don't think Brazil is more like that. We have more freedom to choose. Just the parents.
Well, yeah, it could be.
I didn't do what my parents said told me. Do this or do that. I had the freedom to choose. Sometimes it's difficult. I have the freedom to you know. Yeah, but I'm still confused.
See, when you had the freedom to choose, did you choose by yourself or did you choose by somebody told you maybe this is better, that is better?
Yeah, for sure. I try to talk to people, to read about something like I knew that I had to study. My mom said study. This I did, but what to study? So I talk to people. I search for information to make up my mind. But yeah, I have this freedom, but there's some background. I didn't have all the freedom,
Yeah.
not in my mind. You know.
So everybody lives like that. Nobody really has complete freedom to choose what they choose because all of us are influenced in what we're doing, and it's not necessarily our choice alone. Your mother said study, and you study.
Yeah.
Your friends said maybe this is gonna be better for you. You said, oh yeah, I'll try this, and we shape our world, and that's why our idea of happiness is the same way. We believe that happiness, the freedom is if I have this in this way, because somebody previously told and we forgot about it. We have it in our heads, programmed, like in the computer. You install the program, you forget. It's there. You just use it whenever it's there. And now it's already there in your head that being happy, being free means this. And you don't even question it. We don't really question even the idea of who wants to be happy, who doesn't feel happy. Because if I say I'm sad, well, okay, you can ask what are you sad about, or who is sad. If you want to hear the story of sadness, you can listen to that, or you ask who is sad, who is in the moment unhappy, because that one which is unhappy, that one which is suffering, is not necessarily you. The mind has an idea what makes it happy. You have to remember you are only observing the idea. This is what's gonna make me happy. And then now you're observing that in the present moment, there's happiness, there's full freedom, there's everything here. This moment is complete. And then you as well observe that the mind says, this is what's going to make me happy. And if I don't get this one, I'll be unhappy. And the thought comes, to affirm that. So you create a whole existence on your mind, on your thoughts, without even questioning whatever goes through your head. We don't live anymore in the moment as we used to, because when we get born, we don't have such activity in the mind, so naturally we're happy about everything. Growing up, you start being conditioned. In order to be happy, you have to be like this. So we get taken away of our natural happiness, and we're given to believe that this is what's going to create this happiness. But really, in the moment, right now, do you want something to be happy, or are you happy now? If there is, what is in this moment that makes you unhappy? What is in this moment that prevents you to be happy? Actually, it's a good meditation. Time to do. So we're gonna play the thing. So then you observe in this moment. Can you just be happy, completely, absolutely happy? And if you cannot, observe why. So enjoy. If you can close your eyes if you want, and be comfortable in whatever way you are. So, is there anything you need to be happy, or was it enough right now, just this moment, or something prevents you to be happy, something doesn't allow you to be happy now? Because if there's something, we can look at it.
Yes. My needs. My needs. Like I need to something. I'm a little bit confused. When I mean happy, you know, if I want to achieve some goal, I want to do something, even if it was thought or someone told me to do it, but I think I want to do it. Uh, can I be happy doing it?
Of course, why not? If you're happy, because you may start doing it and you find out that you're not happy. You just thought that you're gonna be happy if you're gonna do it.
Nobody's done.
You can maybe have it now, maybe tomorrow I buy something, and you ready, and you have more. This moment, because I buy something. I think it's
I want something or I need something. Uh, No, not like that. I mean, in this moment, when I'm back to Brazil, I have to find a job in my field. This scares me a little bit. So I'm unhappy because I didn't reach it. I know I'm gonna do it, you know. But this moment, I'm unhappy because I didn't do it yet. It's and how can I be happy? Because I think when you are scary or something like that, you struggle harder to reach some goal, to achieve some goal. If I'm feeling, oh no, I'm okay, I'm not gonna struggle to do something. No, I feel like that. If I'm, oh no, I'm okay now. I'm not gonna do anything to achieve some goals. This is what I'm really confused about.
So it's okay when you really need something, when you're scared that you have nothing to eat tomorrow, you'll go to look for a job.
Yeah.
So it's okay to have that, and maybe you will not feel very happy because you have nothing to eat, and if you don't have a job, you may feel scared that you'll have nothing to eat tomorrow. That's fine, but in this moment, you're not experiencing that yet. In this moment, you don't have to be scared because you're not in Brazil. You cannot do anything. You know that you're gonna have to go there, and you don't know how it's gonna go there. That's why you're scared.
So I can do something like here.
You can
I can because
in this moment.
not this exact moment, but when I live here and go home and go to the internet
okay.
and send my
You have
It's a serious question.
very serious. I'm feeling happy now. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I know that I can't do anything now. You know, when the thoughts comes and goes every time. When you need something, you always, oh, I have to find a job. I have to find a job.
you ever have problems right now?
If I have problems,
Right now.
what kind of problems?
I'm just saying, if you ever have a problem, I'm trying to say, like, in the moment, you ever have a problem in the moment?
If I have some kind of problem,
In the moment. So, I'm just saying. So I just, like, it's a problem generally in the future. Thinking about the future. So whenever I have a problem, I have a problem right now. I never had a problem.
oh, right now. Okay.
So yeah, in that sense, right now you said you're happy. You could do something. You could go and type on the computer,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make you unhappy because you don't type. Right now you're happy. You can. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Maybe you will wait until you get to Brazil, and then you're gonna start doing something because you'll need and you'll be scared.
Yeah. But I can prevent it, you know? Like, scared. To be scared.
You can try
Yeah.
because eventually you may get scared still. You don't
But
know
can I don't get scared?
if you know who you are.
Hmm?
If you know who you are,
Because, I mean, I have to do something, okay, to survive. It's like I have to work, I have to make money, even if it's not too much money or it depends on the person. So, so much money, make, like do doesn't need too much money, for example. But sometimes some persons think they need, but to achieve this, it has to do, the person has to do something, and it's not confusing. When you think, oh, I'm happy, but I still want to do this. But what still want to do this means?
Oh,
Because something that was taught for you, okay? You didn't like realize it out of nothing. Oh, I need to do this.
sometimes you sit and out of nothing you feel I have nothing to do, so I want to do this. Because you have nothing to do. And when you have nothing to do, you can do anything. If somebody tells you you have to do this and that, you have no freedom. It's better to have nothing to do. Then you can say, well, I'm so, bored. There's nothing to do. I can do this, and you may have an idea to make a lot of money, but you at least you will not be not happy because nobody will tell you have to do this. You say I have nothing to do. I might as well this. You can do anything. This life is full of opportunities to do anything you want. Nobody is making you do anything unless you accept other people's thoughts. Having a choice to be free from what other people tell you. Your family, the most immediate people, they always want the children to be a doctor, a lawyer, some sort of a good position where he's gonna be high paid or not, because they associate that as great conditions of living, which likely will result in happiness. But being free from that is much more valuable than following what your parents want. Because it doesn't mean that just because you do whatever they want you to, you're going to be happy. Having freedom to choose and say, well, I don't really have to do anything unless I find in myself that, yeah, I'd like to do this. And you can do anything. Why not? But first and foremost, be happy now. If you are happy now, anything you do is not going to cause you unhappiness because you're happy. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do it to be happy. You choose because you're already happy now. It's fine. You know, I can do whatever I want. I can do nothing, and I'm happy. I don't need much money. I need very little money to live with the family, have a coconut tree growing, a mango tree at the side. Have some tomatoes there. That's it. And I can be happy. I don't need much. But then, if I want to do something, I'll do it in happiness because I can. So this is the difference, because you don't have to do anything to be happy, but you can't do anything being happy because you're happy now. Don't look for happiness there. Just observe. Isn't it enough happiness here? And if you can sit and relax and say, hey, wait, now, truly, really, like, what is there? I'm happy. Now I'm happy. Nothing to take away my happiness.
And when you think that something is not gonna make you happy, but after experiencing it, you think, oh, I like it. No, but if I think every time, oh, I'm happy now, I don't think this is gonna be nice for me. I'm gonna avoid everything that I don't think. Okay, it's gonna be nice for me. But sometimes when you experience it, you start enjoying it. I don't know.
You see, you cannot avoid life. Life will always give anything you need to experience. So, if any one of us will have an option to design the life that we want, nobody will include unhappy moments. Nobody will include painful suffering or any type of moments. Everybody will create a perfect life. But life is not like that. Life gives you what you need to understand that the happiness is not in what you believe it is, but it's in here. So, anything that happens, it's okay. Even if it's going to make you unhappy, later on you realize that if this didn't happen, I would not be able to be happy as I am now. So some things that happen, like eating fruit, it may stink, jackfruit or durian or whatever, it may stink from afar. You may not be interested to eat it, but when you eat it, it's sweet, it's delicious. So, what's with that? The same with other experiences. You may not want an experience because you believe that this will not make you happy, but when you do it, oh, it's not that bad actually. Because you can be happy with the unhappy experience. So, something happened in your family. Of course, it's not nice, it's not a great experience, it's not necessarily happy, but this moment, you're happy to just understand that happiness is here. If you experience in this moment unhappy feeling, it's okay because it comes in this moment. You don't live that experience for forever. What you live forever is this moment, the present moment. Unhappy moment, stressful moment, sad moment, mad moment, any kind of moment, you don't live it forever. There's something that is always there, and this is the present moment where you observe everything. And when you observe that, when in the presence, you start observing presence, you become happy because it's complete. However, when we are in unconsciousness, in future, in the past, observing an attention going towards desires, towards manifestation, towards needs.
Like we have right now, in future, if I continue or I continue having, I can do everything is good or not good. I can do this happy. Independence is I will do good or I will do something good or I will do something not good. I can do everything and at the same time I can be happy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, because happy is inside of starts inside, go to outside your body. You can do everything in the world, but you can do happy is for good for you. It's a good sign, and I think it's all time you be happy. I think it's more easy, like a positive sign. If you think a positive sign every time, good things coming for you. I think like this. I think, yeah. As example, yesterday I worked 10 hours. My city is 10, but it's nice. I come here, I walk here, and I'm happy. I think this, yeah.
Also, freedom brings happiness when you're this or do that. If you're not attached to the outcome, accept whatever. Doing this, doing it, happy, enjoying that this happens, but if you're attached to the outcome, and you just happen to be happy, if you're not attached, if you're not attached to the outcome, this can happen or that can happen. It's fun. So it's when you're attached to.
I agree with the positive thoughts bring positive experiences. But my point is, when you have a choice, okay? You think, oh, is this gonna be good for me, or is it not gonna be good for me? If I think it's not gonna be good for me, I might not choose it. Should not choose it, or not, or should I try and experience it?
It's not really much of a choice. You may not choose anything, but you find doing something. You you experience a choice because in this world we have two hands, two legs, so we may experience a choice which one to use first. But in the end, we don't really know what's going to happen. You may want to choose it, and you say, yeah, I choose that one, but life doesn't give it to you. But you really wanted and chose this, and the whole life you worked for it, and it didn't give it to you. And then you can feel unhappy because your whole life you chose that one. Or a simple thing which perhaps would have made you happy easier. Because it's too easy to be happy. It's too easy, too simple. You can be happy now. That's, that's pretty much it. But people believe that it must be more complex. It must be more hard. It cannot be just that simple. But if it's that simple, if it's that easy, I can be happy now. If I feel a sense of choice, after all, why not to choose to be happy now? Why to choose to be unhappy? If you feel that there's a possibility to be happy now, choose to be happy now.
I think it's socialized. I don't know.
Society.
Society every time show to us like by television, by newspaper, you need to buy something for be happy. It's not true. You can be happy only for a walk on the street or talk with your friend. Only a little bit we can be happy. Inside, I was asleep, very good. I'm happy. I wake up. I had a job, no good job, but I had a job. I had a wife. I had a son. I think it's problem. The work show for you, and you need to buy a lot of things for you to be happy. And this moment, I make a mistake or confuse it. I don't know, I need this or I need this, another thing. I think this is problem. And sometimes I made a mistake in my past because many people, you need to buy these things. For I don't need these things. I think this problem. I think this, yeah.
See, in this case, everybody wants to buy happiness and buy this, buy this, buy that. This will bring happiness. So if I say, buy this moment, who wants to buy this? This moment is gonna bring you happiness. Buy this moment. And how much you're gonna pay for it? Because this moment certainly will bring you happiness. So,
It's okay. This moment is okay. I don't need enough.
and so nobody wants to buy this. People believe that if I buy this small thing, and then I'll be happy. But if just this is not enough, so I have to package it in some sort of way and say nice things about it, so people will buy it and say, "Oh, but there's nothing here. It's just everything is the same. I just like this moment." That's it. Instead of wanting, needing something else, you then start enjoying this moment because that's all that there is. So why not to be happy now? If all that there is only the moment of now, the present moment, experience in different ways, in the future projections, in the ideas, what you want, and whatever way you may experience life, in whatever way it is experienced, it's all experienced in this very moment. So why not to be happy this moment? Next moment, whatever comes, doesn't matter. You don't think about it because it's not next moment yet. Past moment is not this moment anymore. Why to think about the past? Be happy this moment. See what happens next moment. It's that simple. And when I say it's that simple, people think it's stupid because it doesn't seem to be that simple. Something has to be more.
It's not that simple. Not for me.
Why for you it's different?
No, I mean, it's not simple. That simple. Just live this moment.
Why not?
Because I have to project something. I don't know. It's for me, if I think, oh, all the time I'm gonna think just now.
No, don't think now. Just be now.
Okay, be now, and when I think.
Yeah, then you think. No problem. When you think, no problem. It's not like you cannot think anymore. This is like an idea that actually a lot of people like send me questions and I keep answering. There's not a problem with any thought of any thinking. No problem with any activity that you do. The only problem appears if you believe that you're doing this and not observing. You observe that this moment is all that there is. I can be happy this moment. A thought comes and projects something. It's okay. I also observe this.
So I can think about the future and be happy.
Of course.
No, I know, and I can, but what I got confused was how can I be now, you know, be now and don't think.
Well, if that happens that you don't think while being now, it's fine because it's a nice space between thoughts. How often do you not think? It's nice to not think because there's silence. For the first, for some time, you do not get anything in your head which always speaks, always says something. You can relax. So if in being now fully present, you have less thoughts, you get to enjoy more space. That's wonderful. If you have thought that appears, that's great. Watch it. It's not like you stop or start doing anything different. You just watch whatever it is. But now you know who you are. That's the difference. Before you believe that you're this Danilo who thinks something. Now you see that I'm watching all of it. So I watch that I can be happy now. I can watch that there's a thought coming. But I'm always watching because all that there is this moment. So I am this moment. I am this presence. And I watch Danilo living this life, which is kind of interesting to see. I have a personal show of your own experience, expression, living. You see other people living as well, but you have very intimate, very personal show. But you're always watching that show, and you're not really living it as much as watching it. You believe that you live it. That's why it feels so good to watch it, because it feels so real. But the fact is, when you close your eyes, you stop watching it, and you go to deep sleep, and nothing is there. You open your eyes, you start watching this Danilo again. Oh, he feels not happy, he feels happy. But if you're happy just to watch this Danilo doing whatever it does, being happy, being not happy, thinking, projecting, you're just happy to watch it. That's it, no problem. For the rest of your life, you're always happy. Because it doesn't matter what happens, you just watch it. You're free from what happens. Anything can happen. Because in this moment, I'm happy. So anything can happen in this moment. I can be put to death and say, okay, I'm gonna cut your head in 5 minutes. Well, at least I'll have 5 minutes to be happy. So what? This is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So should I experience 5 minutes of fear, I can experience 5 minutes of fear by being happy to experience that fear. Well, at least, I get this only once in my lifetime. So why not to enjoy it?
What this experience?
Yeah.
But when you are scared or have fear or sad, it's difficult just to watch it and say, oh, it's okay. I'm scared.
Oh no, you don't watch it like
You are
that.
scared.
No, when you're scared, you're scared.
Everything is blocked, so you can do anything. You
See,
can just watch it and say,
the mind says that, oh, you're gonna watch it like this, so scared. This is how it appears to the mind. This is how you're gonna watch it. No, you're gonna watch it by being scared, by being sad. Nothing changes. The only thing that you know that you're watching it. That's it. You're still experiencing the feeling. You're still scared. You're still sad. The only difference is you know that you're watching. You're not experiencing it, believing that this is what's going on. This is what's really happening. You're experiencing, watching it happening. So nothing really changes, but there's a slight difference in perception. Then the experience may reduce because by watching you understand what a stupid thing to do. Why do I express myself while being mad in such a stupid way? So you watch it and you say, actually, I don't need to do this anymore. And you start doing it less. Your experiences may reduce because now you're watching it from a real space of freedom. And you're still going to experience all kind of things. Why not? As long as you're living this life, there's too many people to not step on your foot. 7 billion of them. One day, somebody will step on your foot. And God, that makes me really unhappy. So something is going to cause you feelings in this life as long as you're living. Watching it doesn't mean just, stressed. Oh, I'm watching it. No, you're stressed. You are experiencing being stressed. But you know that you're watching that. And that's it.
What can happen with space is you can not many act as well. You can see that thought is a lot of the times causing that pain and fear, not the event. It's the thought that doesn't want that or wants that. So it's the boss, whatever it is, the event, oh shit, just put that you have the space, and you can see, watch the thought, get upset with it, but it's just if we realize it's the thought causing that, not the event, that can give even more space. Then in situations sometimes they laugh at when you don't cause you pain. Just see it happen. If I could just correct what you're saying, if you're observing yourself being stressed or any emotion, the subtle shift in perception is even that which is watching the movie, to use that metaphor, is feeling those feelings in the moment. So the only advantage is when the moment changes before the subtle shift. You continue to feel stressed because of the thoughts of the past, whereas now, as the moment changes, you go with the moment.
Exactly. So you're free to not experience being
Residual.
Yes, because as I said, if you get very broken up with a girlfriend, you can feel bad for 2 weeks. But if you're happy this moment, if you observe that, well, I broke up with my girlfriend, and then right now, well, I'm cooking my meal. So you're cooking your meal. You're not really living that fast anymore. So everything becomes really fluent flow because there's no hold or no sticks or no nothing that keeps you somewhere or hooks you somewhere else. You just flow. That's water itself, and you merge then with the ocean of seeing when you just see all of it. All of it is seen. All the flows, different hooks, different branches, all the different things, the way that mind flows is being seen. There's many different patterns that mind tries to get your attention, get your seeing into a belief that you are experiencing this and that's why you cannot be happy. This moment is enough to be happy. For the mind, it immediately raises questions and ideas that this is not enough because I cannot buy this. Or where do I pay for it? Where do I pay for it now? Okay. If you want to pay with meditation, every morning invest attention into the present moment and observe how it will pay back. Because having more silence between the thoughts, observing the thoughts will encourage perception and encourage seeing, that you're only seeing things because you start observing that there's many thoughts going, going, and going, and going. Many experiences in life, happy, not happy, just as the same thoughts, good or bad, going and going and going. So we can be happy with whatever is coming and going. Because happiness is not coming and going. It's here, it's now, it's this moment. It's always present. Whatever is coming and going may appear to take away the happiness or bring more happiness. But ultimately, you're always happy. There's no way to be not happy. If there is a way, show me how. I don't know how. I lost the sense of how to be not happy. And I don't remember how to be not happy. So if somebody comes and says, "Oh, I'm so sad because this," I'm actually interested to observe because I don't know how to not be happy. Somebody maybe will show me how to experience that. It's too simple to be happy, as I said. It's so simple that it's already available for everybody to enjoy this moment. They just need to say, "Yeah, I'm happy now." Nothing is there to prevent, unless there is something I want to see. I cannot see anything in my experience to prevent being happy, at least for this moment. Whatever next moment it may appear not pleasant, at least it is going to be experienced in happy state of now.
So if we are interested in pursuing that payment of happiness through meditation, happiness or so in the morning, do you have the way of meditation is just observing what's happening without anything, without, I'm just trying to avoid any projection.
Just have no intention for anything. Sit without nothing. Just that's pretty much it. If you have
You said on one of your videos was I was hoping my next thought would be that was simple.
you could bring these kind of things. I wonder what is the next thought going to be, just to encourage this curiosity to understand that there is no way to understand what is going to be the next thought, but you do need to wonder for the whole meditation. That wonder was good enough for the moment. Now you know that there's no way to predict the thought.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not really that you have to be wondering every meditation. You can just sit and, or you already know there's no way. So you sit and then in silence. Maybe there's not going to be silence. Who knows how you're going to sit. Sometimes in the middle of the street you feel like sitting just to give some space. Why not? Dave lie down on Granville Street on Friday night while people walk by. So I don't know what he's doing. If he can lie down in the street on a Friday night in party district, you can find a place to sit whenever you feel like it. And you sit without any intention, just sit to be. Thoughts may come, may not. There is not a meditation to gain anything.
Right.
It's not a meditation to achieve anything. It's just meditation, and here means being, just being, whatever way it is. You may be in totally stressed out feelings, and it's fine because this is what is in your being this moment. You may be in here in this moment and observe that there's a lot of space to be happy, and you find yourself in that space.
It may be kind of a subtle point, and maybe I'm beating it up too much, but like I said, there's just a lot of fear in me about meditation potentially being counterproductive. So I guess, in the same way I'd be like, I'd be happy to spend 10 minutes in the same way that, I go for a walk every morning for about an hour. Not that I think it makes me a better person, but overall it seems to be good. I don't want to walk too much, but, it seems kind of like that. Like I don't want to have any preconceived ideas about how wonderful enlightenment my day will be based on that payment of
I can tell you how wonderful it may be. It's not. This is how wonderful it is. This is the day. There's no more wonderful than that. Meditation is only enjoying this. It's not like you're meditating towards that wonder.
That's just where I think this is for me. What is it that you want to add to this moment? What is it that you want to add to this moment? I don't know that the question is I'm not adding. I don't know anything I want to add to any moment. Like just get here was sweet, and I'd be happy to stay there for the rest of my life. I guess it's just something about just the thought of doing it even in the morning, and it's like a preconceived idea. I don't know, maybe it's not a big deal, but
of course,
I don't want to. I guess I just have a worry about expectation.
yeah, I mean, every morning there's very many people say sit every morning. You do a walk for an hour, right? That's the meditation. I feel like sitting in between a walk sometimes just to sit. That's my that's my way of being. You don't expect to sit for 5 hours in one sitting, but you never know. Maybe you'll enjoy sitting so much that you will not stand up for 5 hours. Maybe you'll get sick of sitting for 5 minutes and you'll start walking again because you enjoy walking more. It's not like you're trying to achieve anything, you're just being in the moment. And whatever way it feels to be, maybe walking around, maybe sitting. So it's not like you're trying again to achieve anything. Whatever day of wonderful enlightening experience, you see, there's already an idea, a thought, preconceived idea that it's wonderful. What is now not wonderful, right? Because that wonderful is something better than now, obviously, because it includes a wonderfulness. But now it's full of wonders also. So I don't know, this kind of thought, if you don't inspect it and you do not allow it to be observed, like seeing like, oh, wonderful day, and you keep having that expectation, adding to the meditation, and not really following through with the meditation, so never really having that wonderful day. Because nobody really wants to meditate, nobody really wants to sit for an hour and do nothing. It feels like the body is interested to do something, and why not? Why not to do something instead of sitting and doing nothing? Like seriously, why would you just sit and do nothing for half of the day? But some people just enjoy sitting and doing nothing because they're happy just to be like that. So if you enjoy being sometimes sitting down and observing yourself in such way, go ahead. If you enjoy walking, maybe you walk and observe yourself walking. It doesn't matter whatever way. There is no meditation that I'm actually calling it meditation. I never really meditate unless I just feel like whatever, sitting, and I don't have a meditation time. I sit whenever I want to sit, and I find myself in this deep meditation of just sitting and being happy is to sit. And then I sit, I stand up and go and do something. That's it. I didn't get anything out of it, I just happened to sit. So I do not try to reach a goal, wonderful state. It's just happen to be. Many people who want to meditate, they meditate towards a state, towards an experience. I say, do not meditate to that. Meditate means be now fully present in this moment. This is the meditation. No intention for anything else, just to be fully present this very moment. And then
you say you're doing one meditation, you say, I don't want to do it because it'll counterproductive. No, I said I have fear that meditation can't, certain meditations can't be done. So you do, I ask you what you want at the moment. But at the same time, you're doing that, so it'll be counterproductive. So you're not wanting to do that, so something better. Right, yeah, that's fair enough. Um, yeah, fear of being counterproductive is the same as the goal of having it be productive. Yeah. So, yeah.
So this kind of meditation gives you the goal immediately. If you meditate in this way, that's it, you're done. Your goal is reached. The fastest meditation with the quickest results. Meditate to the moment of now. Whatever now is, be with the now. That's it. You're done. You're achieved. The now is here. It's fully always there to enjoy. You only need to bring attention to this moment. Because our attention is monetary goals, all kind of ideas about happiness, anywhere else but now. So why do we expect to be happy when our attention is in every single other place but in this moment? Bring attention to this moment. Say, hey, it's kind of cool here. It's nice. It's feel happy here, and then everything else that attention goes has a touch of happiness. So anything you do, in a way, will be done out of happiness. Because there's no faster way to happiness than through your being, and there's no faster way to be than to be now. It takes maybe years to change personality because we build personality through many years. So you cannot change a person of who you are in a second, but you can realize who you are in an instant, and knowing that you are this present moment, you are this pretty much emptiness of anything, just beingness. This is your realization, knowing who you are. That's it. But the person, the personality will keep changing. It may not stop being as it is. It may still go on until it will reduce or drop. But don't expect that personality to change in a moment. Only you can realize who you are in a moment. The rest may take for the rest of your life. I don't know. But it doesn't take the rest of your life to work for something to be happy. That's the best part. Know who you are, and you're happy. If you try to be happy, you'll never know who you are because you look for something that's not existent in the way people perceive happiness. It's only an idea of happiness. So we all have freedom to be happy now, and that's the thing that we came to observe today. That there's freedom to be happy now, and the truth is there's no reason to be not happy now unless you enjoy the happiness. You go ahead and you feel happy to be unhappy and enjoy that more than being happy now. It's all yours. You have a choice. Choose that if you feel like it. I only expose that in the truth, there is nothing that prevents you to be happy now. And you have the freedom to be happy now. In your choice, you can choose whatever you want. In the truth, you are already happy now. Nobody can add more happiness to this moment than it's already here. Because this moment is complete. A thought may come and say, if in this moment I've had ice cream, That would make me really happy. But that thought, the same as any other thought, if I could finish, sending the application for work, or if I finish my study, or any other thought, is just a thought coming in this moment, which does not take away your happiness. It may suggest that this may bring a state which you may say this is a happy state. It may suggest that, and you may follow that thought to acquire that state, but it doesn't take away the initial happiness. It is always there. So try to be not happy now. Try to be miserable, be sad, be anything but not happy. Can you be not happy now? Consciously indulging in trying to be sad doesn't work. Obviously, something doesn't go in that direction. No, nobody really wants to be unhappy, and nobody really can be unhappy because naturally we are happy. Nobody really knows how to not be happy.
Where a person falls into depression, is continuously sad. How would you explain it?
If you continuously believe that the happiness is doing something and you don't get that, you fall into depression because you never get it. That's that's everybody like who I met, and even clinically uh, said that they have a depression because of some chemicals in your brain. They studied and everything. I never believed that because I speak to them. They seem to understand me well. It's okay. They can feel the same freedom to be happy this moment. There's no chemical preventing you to observe this kind of ability to be happy this moment. The only thing that comes in and says a thought, you cannot be happy because this and this and this and that and this, and then you believe all of those thoughts, you will fall into depression because you believe all of that, which is not true. You can only be sad and unhappy when you believe in something what is not true. If you know the truth, naturally you're happy. There's no way to be not happy if you know the truth, because in the truth is you're always happy. This moment is full of happiness. Any thought will suggest that no, there's not enough for it. This is not okay. And you may, if you want, you can feel depression. There's another ability to experience life in happiness. And I don't see how anyone who is brought to a moment and said, "Do you have a choice now to experience happiness or to indulge into your thoughts of depression? What do you prefer?" I do not see anyone who would say, "I prefer to be depressed." They'll always say, I want to be happy now, naturally. So here you go, be happy now because there's nothing preventing you, only a thought that you cannot be happy. And if you can let go of a thought that I cannot be happy now, what's left? If right now you're having a thought, I cannot be happy now, you let go of that thought, what's left? There's nothing. Nothing to say that you cannot be happy now. Meaning, naturally, why would you not be happy? The sense of being is naturally happy. The existence enjoys to be. That's what it is here. It is expressing, it is manifesting itself in this way. So when there is no thought to say I cannot be happy now, the whole existence is rejoicing and being happy all over again. Nobody says that you cannot be happy. For the first time in this body, life again has a space to be experiencing full happiness. So how to become unhappy when you're so happy all the time? How do you become unhappy in this moment? Can you imagine a way of becoming unhappy? Because there's an idea that, oh, if this and this happens, I could be unhappy. But in this moment, if you are experiencing that, what you believe would make you unhappy in this kind of moment, in this kind of happiness, wouldn't it be true that likely you would not take that so seriously because you're already happy?
I believe the mind. That's what I think.
But now you're happy, so that's not a problem. So that's pretty much it, I would say, about the happiness and the freedom and the truth of this life. How easy to be happy, and I don't really see much of blocks, borders, or I don't know, objects in front to be unhappy unless there is something you can ask or say something and say, yeah, maybe. But right now, I do not see that any one of you would be suffering here. Any one of you would be totally sad or depressed. Doesn't seem like anyone has this kind of feelings here. If you are here and you're happy to be here, it's all good. You're not really doing anything but just being happy. How good is that? Do you have to go somewhere else to do something to be happy? But in here, you can come and sit and do nothing and be happy. How many places there is that you can sit and be happy and nobody will say, why are you sitting and just smiling and happy? Are you okay?
We go do this on the street.
Nice.
I feel this.
Good to relax, but it's difficult when you are full of thoughts.
Mm.
Just stop them. Tomorrow.
And if in this moment, when you stop even having many thoughts, you're just happy. Even those many thoughts do not bother you because in the present, thoughts are there also sometimes. Okay, you're just happy. Thoughts come or not, no matter what, you're still happy. Likely it doesn't come as much because you enjoy to be in this nice space where you don't think much. But if it comes, it doesn't take away your happiness. No thought can take away your happiness if it's not believed into. If it's watched, oh, there's another thought. How can you be unhappy? You only recognize everything that, oh, another thought, another thought. That's it. So you don't believe in anything anymore because anybody will say something to you and you'll question it. Is this a thought? Nothing will be real to you anymore. So nothing can really upset you because there's no thought that you can believe. I think nobody needs to say anything and nobody feels uncomfortable. You can just sit and be happy in silence. How often do you go somewhere where you have to say something because people will feel uncomfortable if you just sit like this? In here, there's a party of silence. Everybody is happy to be silent and not to speak to anyone. And we feel we both all share the same thing. We can all relate to each other while being silent without having to say anything. Everybody knows everyone intimately. I like this so much. Usually there's questions and something, and we can just sit like this and there's nothing. Must be really happy to be able to sit like this inside. Because otherwise, how would you do it? If you're not happy, how could you sit silent like this? Something is if you're so happy, you can just enjoy being like this. It doesn't need anything. Just happy to be.
There's silence there too.
What is
They make the switch off. Like, oh, they're just sitting there saying nothing. Probably it's crazy.
Okay, for watching.
I think there's someone. So I've been watching the whole time. Maybe also silent. Yeah, it's broadcasting online.
Is this recorded?
Oh, I mean, it's saved on YouTube eventually, and after you can watch it, and then you can become silent again. Yeah, yeah.
Is this related to Eckhart Tolle, the power of now?
More than related. This is the power now.
Okay, yeah, I started reading.
Now probably you understand it
Yeah,
with the experience, not only by what you read.
finish that.
Is it a book?
Yeah, it's a book about exactly what
Which book is it?
power of
The Power of Now?
yeah, so I think he lives here.
He has a place on it. Probably has a place here too. I think Salt Spring might have it too. The one of the local ones. Close one room. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably sits and does nothing, just is happy, just like us. Yeah. That's what he talks about also, how to just sit and be happy, pretty much.
You read this book?
Yeah. So, no, no, the book actually doesn't matter as much because you got to finish the book with the experience.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna read it and like, oh yeah, yeah, I know this. It's not already, you know, it's an experience. And if many people read that book and they create another thought and another concept, another idea, I'm gonna practice to be now. And then they practice to be now. How do you practice now? You can only be now. So,
I know one guy, he was an alcoholic, and he read the book, and after that he wasn't drinking. It was making me curious about that.
oh yeah, if something like that happens, it's like, oh, something must be in there. Myself, when I was suffering, like going through working two jobs, having a dental pain, not having enough money to fix my teeth because so expensive. So going through all of that and waking up almost every 5 minutes during the night, not being able to sleep because of so much pain. I was reading that book, The Power of Now, so it was helpful also to really come to the now and see that there is pain, there is a lot of suffering, but it's not really me experiencing. There's a thought going in this experience, but it became some space between the experience. And then I thought, I saw that I can actually be happy also, even if I'm suffering, because I can be happy now.
Was that your first contact with spiritual?
Uh-huh. Before this, I had met some people, one person in Lithuania who he was awakened and he thought something and I didn't understand anything what he said the first day. Next day, picked up something, and ever since I couldn't see the life in the same way anymore. So I just kept looking for more, like Eckhart Tolle, Osho, Muji, all different type of people who speak the truth. My attention was there. not in the world how to gain something, how to get something, but in these things, how to know the truth, how to know who you are. And so much so that when I work, I had the whole day, 10, 12 hours of listening to any book that I want, or as much time as I want. So I listened many, many books, many discourses, many things, and my whole attention was invested to that. So eventually something has to give up. Always put yourself in the fire. One time you're gonna burn probably. You cannot avoid fire if you put yourself so much in that. So I was putting myself in that fire of knowing myself. So identity, the idea of myself kept dropping, dropping, dropping until I got to know who I really am, and then everything just disappeared. Now I don't care about anything. I'm just happy to be. And I'm happy to come and sit down, and where other people are happy to just sit in silence and be happy. So it's today also. So this is what makes me perhaps the most happy. When I can just sit and talk to people like this, and eventually not say anything and just sit in silence and be happy because we understand each other.
So it's kind of another state of consciousness. The state you call it happy.
Well, it's pretty, pretty much the only state of consciousness that there is natural happiness, and the other state of consciousness is delusional idea that you're not happy. Awakened state of living, enlightened state of living, and deluded state of living where you imagine yourself to be somebody else than what you are. So a different state of consciousness, but it doesn't affect you because you're beyond that. So no state is anymore important to you. A state of consciousness is still a game in this world, but eventually you come to know the truth. Where no, there's no state of consciousness. It's just you are consciousness itself, and all the states are coming in it. But you are that itself. You're not separated from it. You do not look for states anymore, but you are that which experiences all of the states. So now you actually have ability and freedom to experience the highest states of consciousness because you're open, your your consciousness itself. Anything can come. You may receive dreams, you may receive like supernatural sensations where you will know what other person will say, what they're gonna do, all kind of different things. You may experience it because now you have space to experience higher state of consciousness. Not only the limited delusional state, which is being a person and living this kind of life and chasing happiness there and there. So the highest experience again starts from here, from being fully conscious this moment and allowing anything to come. Not really looking for it, but allowing it to come. So you find yourself in a place that you pick a right place to be in. It seems that everything falls into place just because you chose that one. But you didn't really choose, you allowed this kind of thing to happen in your life. You do not fight with yourself because in thoughts we fight. Oh, maybe should I do this? And then another thought, no, this. And you keep fighting in your head. But in the present moment, there's no fight. You're at peace. So anything that comes in peace.
But it's a long way to go to this happiness.
Well, how long does it take to go to here?
I think I have to read many books to reach your state.
Okay,
We don't want to call it state, but to reach the ultimate happiness.
how many books is until you get to now?
So that I know myself. Or
Oh, or what about now?
not. I think I'm not ready for the soul happiness right now.
Why not?
There's something, there's something that I have to suffer and I don't know.
Do you want to suffer?
I don't want to suffer, but it belongs to life.
Yeah, so if it belongs, if it comes, it comes. But right now, what's the difference between you and me right now, this moment? So how many books, how far do you have to go here to this moment?
Yeah, I'm actually in the moment right now.
Yes. So, so why not now is enough.
Yeah, when I go out of here, then this suddenly disappears.
Remember now.
No, I'm always in the moment, but I'm not always happy.
It's okay.
If in the moment you're not happy, it's okay. You're happy to be not happy. So, for example, you believe that right now you're in this happy moment, right? And if you go out, it's not going to be like this anymore, right? If you go through those doors and check there, are you still happy there? Can you tell me?
I will be happy as well. Yeah, probably.
So, what's the difference anywhere you go? When, on which door you will be unhappy?
When I forget about the now, when I think about the past, or then there will be a point where
And then, do you think you'll remember the now again?
I cannot remember now then.
Because then, if you're experiencing the past, you're still experiencing in the now. The past comes in the presence of now. The future comes in the presence of now. The only place that you can experience past or future is now, with your thoughts. Otherwise, there's no way to experience. So you're still fully now, only paying attention to the past or the future. And as soon as you observe, oh, I'm paying attention to the past, to the future, you're again happy now. So you see that the thought and attention goes in different directions, but that doesn't take away your presence and your happiness. It only tries to say the past and this and that, tries to make it believe and seem that it is not happy. But really, is it really so? Which thought will take away your happiness?
I mean, we don't have to call it happiness. I mean, we can call it everything. What we were talking about.
It's just not, it doesn't have to be happiness. I'm just using this word because everybody can relate to it. Everybody knows how happy. I know what happy is. And then when you ask what is happy, oh, I don't know. It's all the time like that. We believe that we know what we know, but when you start questioning even the most basic things, people they have no idea what they know, and they believe that they know. Everybody believes that they know who they are, but when you ask them, "Who are you?" Oh well, but everybody lives their whole life believing as if I know what I am. But when you start asking this question, they cannot answer it. How strange is that? The whole life you can live without knowing who you are. And if nobody asks you, you'll die without knowing who you are.
And what would you answer?
What would I answer? There's many answers that I can give, depending on the people that I'm talking to.
Okay.
Sometimes if I talk to him, I can say I am you and I'm your mother also. just just to play with the thoughts. But I can say I'm everything and I'm nothing. I'm, I may appear as this person, but I'm not this. I'm something that cannot be seen, but that which is cannot be seen is also you. So I'm ultimately you. So if I tell that to someone, they will not like the answer. They say, "Well, I am you." Wait. And as who are you? Don't tell me that you are me. You cannot be me immediately. There's argument about this. And ultimately, I'm you. I'm all that there is. At the same time, being nothing. But that's too much to say to most of the people because they take it into thoughts and they think this is something mystical. This is very spiritual already. It's so mystical. I cannot understand that much. I don't see it that way. Very simple also. If you, in your experience, you know who you are, you know that you cannot be anything different than me. Because consciousness has no difference, only by the identification. Otherwise, the source, the consciousness itself, is all the same.
We believe in spirits.
Sorry?
Spirits,
Well,
like you said, you are everything at the same time not. Okay. So you are here, and I'm here, there, you are everywhere, and at the same time nowhere. By the time my question is, we are a spirit that conduct this body, or not?
oh, of course, it's part of it. It has to be some sort of soul type of entity using these bodies.
So
This body is just a meat. It's a meatloaf. It doesn't do anything if there's no consciousness inside the body. It's just gonna lie down like this.
okay, but what is this consciousness? What spirits?
You could say, yeah.
Spirits more. How can I say? When we become a spirit, when you are not here, but I don't know.
See, this is for the mind to try to explain something what many other people said. You could say that there is a spirit, there is a soul type of thing that lives in this body and leaves this body as soon as the body dies for this experience. But in the end, for this moment, it doesn't do anything. We can only see from this moment that this likely is an experience, but it doesn't add to this moment. It doesn't make you more happy just because you know the answer to this. It's just another answer.
But yeah, my question is, when we die, when someone dies, we continue doing the same thing.
No, we never die. So when the body dies, that we
Okay,
believe to be, we just recognize that, oh, I've always been this, I just believe to be this body. Because it depends how much do you believe to be this body. If in this life you believe to be this body so much that you cannot see anything else, when you'll die, you'll be, oh wow, I was never this body. But if in this life you already can see, I'm not this body, I'm consciousness itself. When the body dies, like, well, finally, the body died, I'm not identified, fully free, without this dense bodily vibration. Again, this is
so what is the meaning of life? What does this body exist?
to know itself, to know who you are. We can live in any type of direction, in any type of interest, in any type of idea, any type of desire, but in the end, none of the desires will be ultimately pleasing and making you happy if you don't know who you are. There's always a space to be unhappy if you don't know who you are. If you know who you are, anything you do will make you happy. If you don't know who you are, anything you do can make you unhappy. So that's pretty much the meaning, uh, not really the meaning, the direction that I perceive of life is trying to know itself in a conscious way, and this body is a perfect body to know itself in the highest conscious way possible. So we use this body, but there's so much attraction for everything else in this world to identify with, to desire, to play with, that we forget that I only wanted to know myself in fully conscious way through this body, not to be living this body only. But consciousness has a place for belief to be so strong that until the death of this body, it will not know. And it doesn't suffer anything. It doesn't hurt. If in the whole life you live and you do not know who you are and you die, no problem. Next body. If this life you come to know who you are, when this body dies, you have a choice. Do I want to go to the next body? Because why don't if you just want to be floating in the free energy type of expression? You're free. You're not identified that I'm this body. So as soon as there's identification carried from one life to the other, this is why there's a cycle of karma. This is why you keep reincarnating because the identification has not been seen. So whatever you carried before dying, so many people, oh, I wish this and this, that, oh, I didn't say some investment to the life that they didn't complete. Very few people feel content that they completed their life. So that's investment or any small desire that I'm happy with my life, but I wish I could do this. Immediately investment into next life because you want to experience, right? So you want to experience the best way possible how to know yourself. This is appearing in consciousness the best way to know itself. So to this kind of cycle until it's gonna be enough, until the day comes, like today, when somehow you appear in this kind of room where you're exposed to the truth, where nobody else out of the world is sitting here but you. And when you sit here and you listen to this and do not listen what anybody else says in the world, something different happens because you start knowing yourself. Many people will do everything else but come here because they're not interested in knowing themselves. Once you come here, you show interest to know yourself. And once you know yourself, you're happy. Then everything else in the world doesn't matter. You can do anything, and it's going to be fine. But somehow you're here today. Somehow your attention is brought to this to complete the cycle of reincarnation, of not knowing who you are, of chasing another goal, of doing something else. To complete that and stop and actually finish this life in knowing who you are with the next life. You don't necessarily have to come here.
So this is spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit.
This is the most spirit it can be.
I appreciate the question. Is it fair to say this is something that I'm kind of struggling with too? You know, the meat, as you say, is pretty clear. The consciousness that unites us all, our harmony, we're all part of, we're all part of it, is relatively clear. But it seems like there's a big opening for the mind to get silly and busy when you add, a layer of spirit or soul or something that's somewhere between those two. And if, like, as you say, if it doesn't add anything to the moment, then really arguing about with people it's clear just to.
Yeah, it's. I usually don't say these things unless I feel that it's okay to say it in this space. Otherwise, there's a lot of space for the mind to start arguing, to start researching and adding to the idea. But we don't really know anything. I only feel as it feels like in this moment, and I verbalize it that this is how it feels like. For this, I don't really know, really. And somebody maybe have more experience in whatever astral traveling or whatnot, and will have more clear perception of that than me. I have only perception of from my experience, and I see that's why I say that ultimately this doesn't add to the moment. Ultimately, all of this doesn't matter because in this moment that does not add anything. This moment is, as in the beginning, is complete. We can fully be happy and content at this moment. We can learn and know these things from this moment and be happy to explore that. Oh, maybe yeah, this is how the reincarnation, this is how all these kind of processes work. But we don't get attached that I need to know, I need to find out how it works. That doesn't matter, you can speculate. Being free from that speculation. It doesn't matter how However, whatever nonsense I say, in the end, I tell the people, don't believe in anything I say. It's all bullshit. Unless you test it with your own experience and you can confirm in your own experience, okay, then maybe accept. Otherwise, don't believe in it, anything I say is all bullshit. Before you test it, before you experiment and it turns into experience, not worth to even consider what I say. Because otherwise, you can build a belief, a story, another thought. What's the point of that? Once you try to deny it, it does not work. You cannot deny, you cannot destroy this. It's something it's too strong to be destroyed. Something must be true. So if you can deny what I say, prove me wrong, and then I say, okay, sorry, I was I was fooling you. It was all wrong. I didn't know. But prove me wrong first. Prove that what I say is not true, and then we can talk about it. But in order to prove that, you have to confirm with your own experience that it's not true. I don't know how can you do that, because once you start going that way, you confirm that it is true. You will never go and say this is not true, because on the way to denying, to proving me wrong, you'll find me right. So, I know that when I say prove me wrong, nobody can do it. Because really, in their own experience, they'll find the same thing that I do. There's nothing different, only this moment full of happiness to enjoy for everyone. Because I'm not trying to sell anything, I'm not trying to convince anyone in anything. I say, don't believe in me. Test it. It's not like I'm gain anything from here. I lose or contribute. I just enjoy being in this moment, in this kind of conversation. And maybe you come here and you gain some sort of more direct seeing, more focused direction in how to look, and you lose a bit of the past identity or past attachment to some thoughts. And there's experience immediately of some sort of fulfilling presence. Some people come here and they never come back because it's, as I say, it's not really what they want. Some people come here and they see like, wow, I can sit here in silence and nobody says anything, that I look weird, smiling alone all by myself and being silent. That's great. You know, I want to come back. There's not much places that I can find like this. All kind of people, most of the people, that's why you don't see streets coming here, because this is not for the streets. This is for the people who genuinely want to know who they are, who genuinely want to be happy, not superficially chasing their dreams and their happiness and their goals and desires, but genuinely, they just really want to know the truth, to know the freedom, how to be happy. And when you're honest to yourself in such a way, then you find yourself here. And then the experience begins. From here, going out on the street, this is where the experience begins. Being happy now, being happy here, doesn't mean that this is what it is. It means that this is how you begin now, by realizing that you are happy now. By walking out of here, you continue and experiment and try to see, does it really work? Because every moment, for the rest of the night, for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, for the rest of the life, now will be a moment for you to realize that you can be happy now. Every single moment is coming to your life to give you space to be happy now. We have to only have enough space to learn that this moment is calling to be happy. Even if it seems to be sad, this moment is calling me to realize, understand that I know who I am, and I know that this moment is not enough to take away my happiness. So in this way, your whole life becomes your teacher. Nothing excluded. Anything comes, it's all good. It's all necessary for you to experience yourself. Any thought, anything, doesn't matter. Completeness of the moment only begins in the presence and continues for the rest of your life. And then such isness and suchness and beingness of life, whatever way it expresses, you live yourself, never really knowing whatever you're gonna do. You never know what you're gonna say. Whenever you meet a person, you may want to say something, you have a thought what you're gonna say, and the moment you say, something else was said. Oh my gosh, I planned this whole day to say this, and when I came to meet him, someone became shy and couldn't say what they wanted. So even if you plan for the whole day, you may not keep to your plan because you don't know what's gonna happen. Life is more spontaneous in this way because now you realize that you do not know what's gonna happen. You do not even plan anymore as much because you know that you cannot plan anything. Superficially, if there's a need for a plan, you design some sort of plan, but you do not plan your feelings, you do not plan your thoughts, you do not plan your emotions. So you do not plan your presence also. Sometimes you'll feel present, being able to observe all the thoughts. Sometimes you'll feel very much identified and very not present, being in this thought and this feeling. So you cannot even plan to be present all the time. But you can be present now. And from now, the presence will come back because it will never leave. A thought will come in and say, there's no presence. You're too much identified, you're suffering, you're this or that. But when that thought is going to be seen in presence, it will go away immediately. So try to escape the moment of now. And if you do, tell me where you're going to go. I want to see. Because past or future is not an escape, it's only experience in the presence. Especially if you're trying to escape now. You're not going to escape now in this moment. So you kind of have no choice. You have no control over this. You're always forced to be in presence. You have no choice. You're always present. It's not something that you choose to do. The presence is always here. So try try to not be present if you can. It's not something of your choice. Especially now knowing that you are this. It would be like putting sunshades in a dark room and believing that you can see better. You cannot really do anything about it anymore. You're forced to observe this darkness of nothingness, really. Because nothingness is really empty of even the light itself. So the true light actually is dark because there's no real light in the darkness. The light comes into the darkness as well. And whatever you are is as empty as the dark space. There's nothing in that. There's only this presence. Because I cannot make any other example how to relate to presence that like like dark empty space. There's nothing there. It's just this like oxygen. Presence is like oxygen or dark space. It's always here, but you don't see it, and you cannot escape it. sound silent. I don't know. If you feel there's anything more to this, I can say so. If not, I feel this is complete on its own. If it seems incomplete, you can say something. In my feeling, there's nothing more that I can add to this. Anything more that I will say, it's just trying to add the balloons to the present. Say, oh, look how happy. It's already done. It's already exposed for what it is. I cannot do it more. Now only you can experience it and bring it more to yourself. See, nobody. So yeah, guess say bye bye. No questions at that end. I assume there's silence also. If it comes next time. But bye bye. Enjoy your being.
Can you see who's there? Do they have like a name?
No, but likely I could